Hey y'all, how are y'all doing today? We want to thank y'all for tuning in to the Scholar Network's fourth virtual story time. My name is Anthony Doman, the co-founder of the Scholar Network, and it's a pleasure to introduce today's virtual storytime guest. Today's special guest is Miss Stephanie Bridges, a children's book author, community leader, and Columbus, Ohio native. So everybody kick back, relax, and enjoy this fun and engaging time of learning. And remember to tune in every Saturday at 2:30 p.m. EST for more virtual story times. So please give a round of applause and a good welcome to Miss Bridges.
Hey, everyone. I am so excited to be here on the Scholar Network. And I'm so excited that on a Saturday, you are spending it with us to feed your minds and, exercise those brains and keep things going. I know your imagination is amazing. So we're just going to keep going. I guess I'm number 4. Is that right? So I'm excited to be here.
So number four. So tell us about your book. Tell us about yourself. Tell us about what made you want to write this book, and what do you want kids and children to get from this book? Even if it's parents watching, what do you want them to get from this book? And what was your goal when writing it?
Definitely. So I knew at an early age that I wanted to be an author. I was actually very young. I was in maybe 4th or 5th grade, and my teacher went around and told everyone what they should be when they grow up. And when she got to me, she said I should be either a newscaster or an author. So there was no way I was going to be a newscaster because I am a definite introvert. And that's just means I'm a little bit shy. I like to keep to myself. So I knew at that moment that I was going to be a writer. And I have written many things, but I also wrote 4 children's books. And this is If I Were Part of the Animal Kingdom. This is the first children's book I wrote, and I wrote 1 book about each of my children. So my oldest son is Kahlil. He's always loved animals. So when I wrote his book, I definitely had to highlight the fact that he loves animals.
Okay, that's amazing. And I think that's awesome that you wrote books about your children. And I wish my mom wrote a book about me, be like the best child on earth or something like that. But okay, so now that you've just talked about your book, we definitely want to get into the book and we want to see what's up.
Definitely. So before I start reading, I'm glad you said that, because one of the reasons also that I wrote the book is about legacy, is about creativity, is about leaving something behind. So sometimes, we're able to leave money and real estate and different things like that. Sometimes we're able to leave a business or a dream or a book. So it's definitely about legacy building. And I'm so excited that you said that. And let me answer the other part of your question about what I want children to get from this book, and parents as well. So all of my children are very different. They're all, individuals and have their own personalities. And I think, coming up a certain way when you get a certain age, you have a traditional mindset as far as how you want your children to behave and what it is you want them to do and how it is you want them to express yourself. But young people, I want you to know that it is so important to be you, to express yourself. Yes, you want to be respectful and you want to honor your parents and your grandparents and your elders and your teachers and everyone like that, but never lose who you are. And I'm so excited that my son, who has always loved animals and has sort of had more of an affinity to them than maybe to a lot of people, that he kept that. And so, he has animals now that he takes care of. And it's something that I'm super excited that all of my children are living, their own dreams. And know that the people who are older than you and guiding you, they have great intentions. They have the best intentions for your life. But you are creations of the Almighty, of God, and He is the author and the finisher. And what He put in your heart is definitely for you. Thank you.
Yes, 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 yes.
Yes, yes, yes.
All
All right,
right,
so
let's get into this book.
we yeah, let's get started. Let's get started. This is If I Were Part of the Animal Kingdom. All right, so meet the author and the illustrator. I am so super excited to have the opportunity to pen this book. So I am the writer, I am the author, I am also the publisher, but I worked with Taylor Hicks and he is the illustrator of the book. So each of my children's books have different illustrators. I worked with everybody, people who are local in my area from a local school, Columbus College of Art and Design, and they're all African Americans. So what you're about to experience is a book written, published, edited, and with a main character who represents the African American culture. And so I'm just super hyped and I just love, love, love young. This is a celebration of you. If I Were Part of the Animal Kingdom. And it's dedicated to my mom, Kahlil's grandma, BB. My name is Kahlil, and I love animals, but I hate being told what to do. Don't say hate, my mom says, and it burns me through and through. If I were part of the animal kingdom, I wouldn't have to listen to rules. I'd be free to run wild and be my own child. And here is what I do. If I says, it's time to come in, I'd rise up, nostrils flaring, and bang on my chest. Oh, lions can't do that. If I were a gorilla, I'd bang on my chest. When my mom says, it's time, I'd fly out the. Oh, gorillas can't do that. If I were a hornet, I'd build my own nest. When my mom says, it's time to eat, I'd stick out my tongue hissing and hunt my own pest. Oh, hornets can't do that. If I were a snake, I'd hunt my own pest. When my mom says, it's time to take a bath, I'd roll in a puddle muddling and have a slug fest. Snakes can't do that. If I were a wild boar, I'd have a slug fest. When my mom says, it's time to get out of the tub, I dive deeper, teeth teeming, and lead an ocean quest. Oh, boars can't do that. If I were a great white shark, I'd lead an ocean quest. When my mom says, it's time to go to bed, I'd stay awake, head spinning, and hoot, hoot with zest. Oh, sharks can't do that. If I were an owl, I'd hoot, hoot with zest. When my mom says, it's time to get ready for school, I'd stay asleep till spring snoring and get some more rest. Oh, owls can't do that. If I were a bear, I'd get some more rest. When my mom says, it's us, I'd head for the hills howling and bay on the crest. Oh, bears can't do that. If I were a wolf, I'd bay on the crest. When my mom says, don't forget your homework, I'd crawl away creeping and web my way. Do that. If I were a spider, I'd web my way west. When my mom says, wait, did she say homework? Mom, is this my report on animals? I ask. Sure is, Kahlil, she responds. Oh, spiders can't write reports. Since I'm a child, I heed my mother's request as much as I Lil. Don't say hate.
Thank you so much, Miss Bridges. That was an amazing book. This is the part of our feature that we ask our special guest questions for the audience. So, Kyle wants to know if you could be any animal, what would it be and why?
I think if I could be any animal, I would be a dog. The reason why I would be a dog is because I have dogs, so I have a number of dogs. If you hear some barking, there's some stuff going on in the background. That's them. But also, I think dogs are shown a lot of love. So, especially if I was in the United States of America, I want to have a good pet owner. I want to live in a nice home, kind of comfy, cozy, and just hang out. Maybe with some other dogs if they had some more pets. But I think I would want to be a dog.
Okay. What kind of dogs do you have?
I have two pit mixes, and then their mom is here, and she's some type of shepherd, I believe. I don't know, but
Okay, so you got some big ones, huh?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's some big dogs.
Yeah. All right, so what inspired you to be a children's book author?
Definitely. So I knew at an early age I wanted to be a writer. I wanted to be an author. But in my mind, the only writing you could do or the only thing you could be is a novelist. So I was like, oh, I'm going to be, a best-selling novelist. And so in college, I started writing my first novel. I didn't finish it. And then years later, I started again. I didn't finish another one. So I was like, how about I write a poem? So I wrote a book of poetry was my first book. And then after that, I was like, well, how about I try to tackle some children's books? And since I have 4 children, I was like, I'll write one book about each child. And so really it was just me staying centered on being a writer, on being an author, and accomplishing something until, I accomplished my ultimate goal.
All right. So our last question. What type of legacy, and I know we talked about this before because you said that you want to leave a legacy for all, like you want to leave your legacy for all your children. You want your children to be able to do the same. So what type of legacy do you want to leave on the world?
Oh, wonderful.
I'm going to expand this a little bit more. Mm-hmm. And how could our scholars leave their own legacy going down the line?
Definitely. So I think the time we are living in is far more difficult to create space in the world. But now with the advent of social media and cell phones and different things like that, the ability to create and get your voice out there is amazing. So the legacy that I would celebration, a legacy of celebrating all children, but specifically Black children, because I think oftentimes the media that we are exposed to and that our children are exposed to is not coming from light. It might be coming from fun, it might be entertaining, but it's not always coming from a space of light. And so I want to offer that, something that's creative, something that's purposeful, something that's positive about us, for us, in collaboration with us, because we are beautiful, we are intelligent, we are the first. So I just want us to know that we are the chosen, and by having main characters in my books and in my stories that are African American, by collaborating with musicians and lyricists. You know, I write songs as well, illustrators, photographers, yourself, that are African American. I hope that I'm showing us, and especially our young people, that that we got this. We definitely got this. And not only that, one big part of what I want people to see when they read my children's books, you have an opportunity to not just see myself, but then you also see the illustrators as well. And I'll just show you. Oh, okay, it's not in this, but I worked with all African American illustrators as well. So I hope when young people read my books, not only do they enjoy it and do they see themselves and do they see that celebration part of it, but they also say, oh, I can do that and I can do it better. So just, know I'm right here right now, and I am, putting forth an effort, but if I can do it, you definitely can do it as well. So whatever is inside of you to create, because we're all creatives, we all create something. That's what we're here to do. We were created by the Creator, and we are created in His image. So the same spirit that He is within us. And so whatever you decide to create, whatever you decide to make you, and it honors you, but do your best to make it a celebration as well, something positive, something. Can you hear them yelling? Oh, I can't hear you.
Can you say that last part one more time? You said something positive and something. I didn't hear that last part.
You're kind of cutting out too.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now, but I'm saying you were freezing, but I don't know if that'll help happen. But okay, so you said, can I say the last part again? Yeah. Okay. So one thing that I want young people to see when they read the books.
Oh, you said, I think you just say that last part. I was like, something, you said something positive. And so, like, it was just the last part. The whole thing was clean until you got up to like something positive and something. I didn't hear that last one. I was like, dang.
Oh, okay.
Last sentence.
Yeah, definitely. So I want everyone to create what is inside of them, what it is that is their gift. So whether you're a musician or a rapper or architect or a researcher, whatever field you're working in, think in terms of creating something from positivity and something from light that can help build and renew the community.
Okay. All right. Okay. Those were some amazing answers and some amazing questions from our scholars. And we just want to thank you to everyone who tuned in today. We're glad you tuned in with us. And we want you guys to meet us back here next week for our amazing virtual story time. We just want to thank Ms. Bridges for coming on our show today and inspiring us with her amazing book. We hope that we can have her back maybe sooner or later. She can come read one of her other books, and we can get more of her amazing knowledge, and we can learn more about how we can be better us's. So tune in, stay tuned, and we'll see you guys next week at 2:30 on the virtual story time.
Thank you.